In light of war actions taken against Iran today, I feel the following is even more crucial. On February 21st, Robert Reich wrote, "A 6-3 majority of the Supreme Court decided yesterday that Trump cannot take core powers that the Constitution gives Congress. Instead, Congress must delegate any such power clearly and unambiguously. This is a big decision. It goes far beyond tariffs. It reaffirms a basic constitutional principle about the division and separation of powers between Congress and the President. This decision clarifies that Trump cannot decide on his own not to spend money Congress has authorized, and he cannot on his own decide to go to war." In that recent decision, Chief Justice Roberts and Justice Gorsuch wrote, "The court has long expressed reluctance to read into ambiguous statutory text extraordinary delegations of Congress's powers. The court has reasoned that both separation of powers principles and a practical understanding of legislative intent suggest Congress would not have delegated highly consequential power through ambiguous language. These considerations apply with particular force, whereas here, the purported delegation involves the core congressional power of the purse. The government's view would represent a transformative expansion of the president's authority over tariff policy. There is no exception to the major questions doctrine for emergency statutes, nor does the fact that tariffs implicate foreign affairs render the doctrine inapplicable." Robert Reich continued, "The press has reported on yesterday's Supreme Court decision as if it were only about tariffs. Wrong. It's far bigger and even more important. I think Roberts intentionally wrote yesterday's decision as a bookend to Trump versus United States. Both are intended to clarify the powers of the president and of Congress. A president has immunity for actions taken within his core constitutional powers, but a president has no authority to take core powers that the Constitution gives to Congress." In the tariff decision, Justice Gorsuch laid it out very well. "For those who think it important for the nation to impose more tariffs, I understand that today's decision will be disappointing. All I can offer them is that most major decisions affecting the rights and responsibilities of the American people are funneled through the legislative process for a reason. Yes, legislating can be hard and take time, and yes, it can be tempting to bypass Congress when some pressing problem arises, but the deliberative nature of the legislative process was the whole point of its design. In all, the legislative process helps ensure each of us had a stake in the laws that govern us and in the nation's future. For some today, the weight of these virtues is apparent. But if history is any guide, the tables will turn and the day will come when those disappointed by today's result will appreciate the legislative process for the bulwark of liberty it is." Faith.